Peace. Shalom. Hatep. Welcome back to Chapter 18 of Balls of Fire, Pre-Game 18, The Diamond Hearts. This is another extremely long chapter. I'm not aware how many parts it's going to take to finish this. Don't forget to screenshot, just in case you want to read along with me. And let me know if something's not clear, because a lot of times, well, some of the time, this camera doesn't clear up on film right away, I find. So get on me, I'll hook you up. And please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. Your feedback is greatly appreciated, especially the positive one. Sometimes I still can't believe what I saw. This 19-year-old kid, crude, poorly educated, only lightly brushed by the social veneer we call civilization, gradually transformed into the idol of American youth and the symbol of baseball the world over. A man loved by more people and with an intensity of feeling that perhaps has never been equaled before or since. Harry Hooper, teammate of Babe Ruth. From a 21st century view, selecting this Diamond Heart Fantasy draft team considers Time's legacy of scientific thought, as well as the ISIS thesis, which shows that ancient Egyptians understood our contemporary sciences. The views here support quantum theory and add credence to the ISIS thesis in the face of its opposition as generally represented by the Thunderhead team. The rising scientific awareness today in the quantum world ruled by quantum mechanics, with its equations resembling the kinetic molecular theory, orders our classical cosmos ruled by general relativity. Our counterintuitive sciences includes physicist John Wheeler's delayed choice experiment, quantum non-locality, or being everywhere, and entanglement, the laws of Newton, Einstein, Maxwell, and Schrodinger's permitting time reverse, and the mathematical equations of Einstein and current science that supports the expanding, collapsing potential of our cosmos. Also relative are the findings of the International Human Genome Sequencing Consortium and the International Microbiome Sequencing Consortium. These are only a few of the modern scientific discoveries and experiments discussed in the 12 articles that support the following semiotic argument of the ISIS thesis based on a unified interpretation of 870 ancient Egyptian signs. In brief, the Egyptian afterlife happens in the quantum mesocosm of microbes. Ancient Egyptian deities represent viral and bacterial genes, bits of DNA, and proteins. This knowledge carved on the walls of the pharaohs, pyramids, and tombs, and the bottoms of the nobility's wooden coffins represent human deities functioning as viral and bacterial genes and proteins along the ancient glycolysis fermentation gene expression network in our cells. The ancient network is also present in the common E. coli bacterium that houses its viral companion phage lambda that dominates the E. coli bacterium with its genetic switch between two lifestyles. When lambda chooses lysogeny, it invades the cell and falls asleep on the bacterial DNA, replicating silently with the bacterium. When lambda chooses lysis, it switches to an active attack on the bacterium, taking over the bacterium's replication machinery to clone viral particles. Along with a concise description of this powerful genetic switch, Egyptian texts support that bacteriophage lambda is the quantum world heart of our cosmos and the last universal common ancestor of human beings. Further, the ancient Egyptians' texts explain that human consciousness and existence results from the viral lifestyle of lysogeny. Then, at a death transition, a human has a quantum choice for continuity of mind or DNA transformation to a quasi-hybrid being that is a higher ordered crystallized state of existence created by the viral lifestyle of lysis. Because the laws of our cosmos with its holographic mode of operation are ordered by the laws of the quantum world, a human agent with knowledge can collapse the cosmos to its early state as supported by Wheeler's observer participancy experiment and human potential for quantum state reduction. This amounts to the human observer hitting the switch for viral lysis. With this brief summary of the ISIS thesis, the selected players who have theories, experiments, and observations supportive of their thesis are lined up in the following batting order. First base theoretical physicist John Wheeler, 1911 to 2008. Recent research is supporting our impressive potential for quantum choices. For example, physicist John Wheeler explains our potential for observer participancy based on his delayed choice experiment. And he reads, in broader terms, we find that nature at the quantum level is not a machine that goes in its inexorable way. Instead, what answer we get depends on the question we put, the experiment we arrange, the registered device we choose. We are inescapably involved in bringing about that which appears to be happening. Mind is central to the complete cosmic system because the act of observation permeates quantum mechanics. According to physicist John Wheeler's observer participancy principle, because of quantum entanglement, which entails the phenomenon of non-locality, objects become linked and instantaneously influence one another regardless of distance. This is because they are non-local or everywhere at once in the quantum domain. Physicist John Wheeler explains our potential for observer participancy, suggesting we must abandon causality or cause to effect. In a delayed choice experiment, one discovers that a choice made in the present has past consequences in the earlier days of our cosmos when life on Earth did not exist. As confirmed by Wheeler's delayed choice experiment, we can bring about that which appears to be happening. This is because the past exists only in the present, Wheeler explains. We have to move the imposing structure of science over onto the foundation of elementary acts of observer participancy. This means that quantum mechanics lionizes the role of the individual observer. Think about that. And so the unaware individual human being possesses an immense power of choice in both our classical world of matter and the quantum domain of proteins and genes. As Wheeler explains, the world of time and space is a system of existence that has given birth to observer participants who act in a network of elementary quantum phenomenon. The universe is not a machine. The quantum is the foundation of physics, and it operates with a pure yes-no character. This is derived from profound considerations of a quantum flavor, and the physical continuum is myth. In ancient Egyptian, early Chinese, American Navajo, and Aztec texts, the act of observer participancy results in an act of cosmogenesis because the world represents the quantum networking of two viral proteins in their energy landscapes. Because our macrocosmic world is quantum mechanical, understanding Wheeler's observer participancy principle is the first step to winning the game of centuries. Lynn Margulis is a good pick for second base because she understands the fundamentals. And her name is, again, Lynn Margulis. And she's born in 1938 and passed in 2011. Okay. In Microcosms, Margulis and Sagan explain how hustle-bustle bacteria invented life's chemical systems leading to fermentation, photosynthesis, and oxygen breathing. After we die, explain Margulis and Sagan, we return to the microcosm. This is the same message of the ancient Egyptian, as well as the early Chinese and Navajo texts. But these cultures offer us environmental survival tips and other signs of the evolutionary process using the ancient glycolysis fermentation pathway in our cells. Before the advent of oxygen, the ancient glycolysis fermentation pathway is believed to be the source of energy production for earlier organisms such as bacteria. Ancient Egyptian texts support this scientific belief. Now, the unexpected coincidence is that this ancient pathway in the gram-negative E. coli cell has a gateway called the lamporin. This is the selective attachment site for phage lambda. Glucose is the preferred carbon source of the cell. However, when glucose is limited and the cell is starving, the lamporin will open its gates across the outer membrane to the polar nutrient solutes. So our cells have the metabolism adaptation process for the possible emergence of higher levels of organization involving sugars that other than glucose, such as maltose and lactose. Because of the